Hello, Monkey Pod listeners. I'm going to issue an additional content warning this week, in addition to the normal one about how it's not a children's show from the 60s because it's an adult show from 2025, because we have reached the point in the show where we have hit the first of the racist premise episodes. So we have a lot of discussions about some pretty heavy topics like racism, genocide, the Holocaust. It might be a little less goofy and wacky than normal, just putting that out there. But I hope you will be educated and entertained still. So, enjoy the episode. Hello, welcome back to the Wokies Pod, a Woke Monkeys podcast. My name is Somer She/Her.
I'm Lisa.
What are your pronouns, Lisa?
Oh, she, her.
As an AI, I don't have a preference.
I wasn't asking you.
That's so, oh my god, that's why you said that. That's so scary. You could just do that at all times.
I'm sorry, the robot was listening in on our Woke podcast. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Lucas, he, him. I have a BFA.
And today we are covering the season 1, episode 16 of The Monkeys, Son of a G Slur. Now, Mom, you might not know this. The word that I have censored in the title of this episode, while in use in many aspects of our society, including an excellent Broadway musical that I love, when used to describe people in the Romani population group, is by some of them considered a slur.
Okay.
So I will not be saying that in this episode, which is, it's a little bit of like a, it's kind of one of those like, where like some Native Americans are like okay being called Indians and stuff like that. But because of the time that it is in this country, I would always like to err on the side of as woke as possible. So we are going to be very respectful of the Romani people and not use that word towards them.
Okay.
And the background for this one that we both got into was the historic persecution of the Romani people. Just so that, because this episode, The Monkeys has great cross-dressing episodes. It also has terrible racist episodes. A lot of episodes of The Monkeys have like racist scenes, plot lines, characters, jokes. There are a couple episodes where the premise and entire substance of the episode is just like blatantly racist. The worst one is probably Monkey's Chow Mein. This one's pretty bad too. But as like Romani people are not like quite so widespread as Asian people in like modern America, I feel like most people might have less of a connection to them and still kind of think of them as that old-timey like 1800s group of like traveling carnival people. So let's learn a little more about them for respect's sake. So according to Wikipedia, the Romani people, also known as the Roma or Romanis, are an Indo-Aryan ethnic group who traditionally live a nomadic lifestyle. Although they are widely dispersed, the most concentrated populations are in Romania, Bulgaria, Hungary, Serbia, and Slovakia. So the Roma were like an ethnic group that originated from like the lower castes of the Indian caste system, and they were kind of like cast out of India in like ancient times and became like nomadic and like traveled in kind of caravans and with carnivals around. The Roma from Bohemia, which is the Czech Republic today, were called Bohemians because they were believed to have ethnically originated in Bohemia. They just settled there at some point. And the term Bohemian, much like the G word, came to mean carefree artistic people because the Roma were musicians and dancers as well as circus performers. Because they lived like this adventurous lifestyle away from society's norms and expectations, like the Bohemian European artistic movement of the 19th century was like kind of inspired by them. And also the hippie movement was inspired by them. Hippies had like some problems with cultural appropriation from the Roma and from Native Americans also with like the beads and stuff, because they like see these like oppressed indigenous groups as like free spirits. I mean, there are aspects of that are a part of their culture, yes, but there are also a lot of really, really negative stereotypes about the Roma, which we see in this episode quite a bit.
Yes.
Did you want to get into some of your stuff?
Well, basically right on what you said, scholars believe they migrated from the Punjab region of India 1,500 years ago. They're one of the oldest ethnic minorities in Europe. But then I see on your notes, my next notes start like from the Holocaust.
Okay, yeah. So I'll go with the older history of their discrimination. Basically, like as long as they've been around, they've been getting kicked out of every country they've gone to. The earliest date listed on Wikipedia is like the 1400s. In Europe, they were subjected to ethnic cleansing, abduction of their children, and forced labor, which is real funny when they then try and turn around and paint them as one of the stereotypes about them is that they steal babies,
Right.
when it was happening to them. In Britain, Roma were sometimes expelled from small communities or hanged. In France, they were branded and their heads were shaved. In Moravia and Bohemia, women were marked by their ears being severed. And then they want to turn around and say one of the stereotypes about them is that they're bloodthirsty.
Yeah.
Like, it's really revealing, Now, what would you have to say about the Holocaust on our Monkeys podcast, Lucas?
Well, being an ethnic minority in Western Europe, they were, of course, part of the Holocaust. 25% of the Roma population were killed. Their criminality and their race was conflated, and there's like an ongoing sentiment that the persecution was like justifiable in that sense, and they weren't officially recognized as a group that were victims of the Holocaust until the 1990s.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I also have that, like, during the Holocaust, they were often killed on the site by, like, the paramilitary death squads where, like, other groups would get taken to the camps.
Right.
But they're not even worth that.
Oh.
The total number of victims, Roma victims of the Holocaust has been estimated between 2,200, I can't read big numbers,
220,000
and 1.5 million.
Yeah.
And then the last way I have, I'm sure this is not the last way, but one of the things that really shocked me that I read was in Czechoslovakia, they were labeled a socially degraded stratum, and Romani women were sterilized as part of a state policy to reduce their population. This policy was implemented with large financial incentives, with threats of denying future welfare payments, with misinformation, or after administering drugs.
This would go on until the 1980s.
Yeah. So it's very weird because they have this really specific and interesting culture, which is made up of the fact that, like, for thousands and thousands of years, everyone has thought of them as subhuman.
They've been run out of every place they've ever been.
So they have to keep moving constantly, and that informs all of their, like, clothes, their music, their other cultural stuff. But then they have this, like, weird double-sided reputation in America where people are like, oh, there's free spirits. Like Broadway has a tradition where it's now called the legacy robe. It used to be called the G-word robe, because that's what Broadway chorus members were referred to as in the early 20th century. Mm-hmm. Because it's like, oh, you're one of those chorus rats. You're just a dancer and you're so free all day. And that's kind of like where the hippies came into it, where they were like, oh, these free people with their beads and their flowy clothes and their bright colors, and they play music and they travel around. Wow, we want to be free like them. But then also they have this reputation where they're just seen like horribly, these like criminals. And we see both sides of that so hard in this episode. It's really...
Yeah, I have like some sources from like the past decade. So in 2017, the Scottish Conservative leader Douglas Ross had that his like main goal for his party would be tougher enforcement against, quote, the G words and travelers. And then I also found a survey by the European Commission that was done in 2015. They basically surveyed like random people from Europe, and they said 20% of people surveyed would be completely uncomfortable working with a Roma person, compared to 17% with transgenders and then 13% with Muslims. Of course, with the survey, we like don't know like the age groups made, because in Europe there are a lot of like racist old people. But I do know, like, from personal experience,
from high school. We'll censor her name. We'll censor this girl from high school.
This girl from high school who lived in Spain when she was younger. She was like, one day to me, she was like, "Oh my God, I hate G words. They stole my bike when I was little." I'm like, okay,
yeah,
cool. I'm sure someone stole your bike.
Right.
I'm sure someone stole your bike.
I'm sure someone stole your bike. I don't think you know what race they were.
Yeah.
And here's the thing with that. Like, I'm sure throughout history, Romani people have stolen some things. Maybe that's because you wouldn't sell them anything normally because you didn't think they were people.
It's the issue of linking criminality to race versus linking criminality to poor economic outcomes perpetuated by racism.
Right. Yeah. Because they're not in this situation because it's like coded into their DNA. It's because of the way they've been treated this whole time.
Right.
Anyway, now let's get into this episode that is so racist. Directed by James Frawley. The writers, scene of the crime, it's Gerald and Dee, and Treva Silverman, and the story is by Treva. So Treva, you are also on the shit list now. I wonder about that. Is Treva a woman?
I don't know.
Is Dee a woman?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You don't even know that? You don't know if Dee's a woman or...
Let's look this up, because I just want to know if Dee is a woman. I don't know her last name because I just wrote Gerald and Dee. Editing Somer, can you find out? Thank you. Okay, I looked it up. Dee is a man, but Treva is a woman. Hell yeah! Girl power and terrible sitcom writing. Okay. We'll come back to our stars because there are all various different...
Yeah, there's somebody...
I didn't even catch their names other than his.
Yeah, so they all have like Mark's brother names.
This is somebody I've spoken
Vic
about
Tayback,
before.
he was two of these guys were in the show before. Vincent Beck, who plays Marco, and Vic Tayback, who plays Rocco.
Vic Tayback, definitely, because I spoke about him already.
Yeah, so they're reusing a lot of it. A lot of
the
white men with brown makeup.
The character actors just keep coming back.
This one was broadcast on December 26, 1966. Merry Christmas! So the monkeys are in a hallway outside a gig booking with their rival music group, the Romani family, who roar at the monkeys when they look at them because they're violent, inhuman, rawr, and they don't even talk. Guys, of course they're only actually there to steal from the party host, because they steal. And when the monkeys get the gig over them, their first instinct is to kill. So then the mother of the family, Maria, we learn her name is later, she invites the monkeys to their camp tomorrow to show them there is no hard feelings.
Okay. I just wanted to briefly talk about the costumes on these individuals. Mm-hmm. The last one to get up and walk away is wearing like mom jeans. tucked in to like boots. I'm like, how did they run out of the pants?
We only have 4 pants. We only have...
But then they give the monkeys their own set of pants.
Well, those pants were too small for those guys. Yeah. Those guys were large. They would not fit in small, tight monkey pants.
Well, this one guy was wearing mom jeans.
Well, maybe he brought those from home. Maybe they forgot. She's like, okay, come to our camp. There will be no hard feelings. But since her and her sons are large, violent, and ethnic, and she is sinister and ethnic, it comes off as a threat. And you know that the monkeys should not go to the camp. And the monkeys do seem scared.
But Peter wants to go.
But Peter wants to go to camp. Send this boy to camp.
Yeah, send this boy
to camp. He really wants to go to summer camp. But it's not that type of camp. But they seem scared, but they decide to go anyway. They show up to the camp without being told where it is once again.
Okay. I said they show up out of the woods. They show them like moving a branch of a tree out of the way, like they've walked out of these woods. And I said, that whole set looked like it was Gilligan's Island set. Like they look like they were on the
island set is used for the island episode later.
Yeah.
It wouldn't shock me if it was like
Gilligan's Island. I think this might be the Gilligan's Island set they're on.
It wouldn't shock me. Davey says, it was a lousy idea to come out here today. Nobody is making you come, guys. Is it the writers? I don't know.
Wait, because like the intro plays between this part and that part. I wrote down in my notes, we're too busy singing to put anybody down. And then this episode proceeds to play.
Well, there's like one song at the very end of this episode. Maybe if they started singing at the beginning, they wouldn't have had time to be racist. In this scene, Peter's wearing this like flowy blue shirt that you see kind of like throughout the series. Davey wears it a lot, but again, another instance of them sharing clothes. The Romanis, I'm going to do the quotes every time because it feels wrong to call them that. They're like, we're going to use the monkeys to steal the Maltese vulture from the party. I know that's a reference to the Maltese Falcon, but I don't really know what that is. So,
well, it's exactly what it is. I don't know. It's a very famous. I don't know if
MacGuffin item in a movie that they have to get. I think it's a heist movie, isn't it?
It is, and I think it's. Is it real? Possibly, and
I don't think it's real. I think it's just a treasure from some treasure.
Some treasure.
Yeah. Anyway, they're like, we need the monkeys to steal this for us since they're working the party. And then we will kill them like the violent savages our culture makes us.
Then
they're all holding their knives and like salivating over the violence, and it's really crazy.
Yeah.
And then Mama says, "Here come our monkey pigeons." So then, very kindly, they assimilate them into the camp and welcome them to their culture by giving them beautiful, beautiful flowing shirts and pirate jackets and
pants.
And each of them gets a little earring.
Yep.
Apparently, that is a real thing in Romani culture, where like men can have one earring and long hair. Historically based, although I'm sure in the modern day and in the 1960s, it wasn't still. Like, yeah, also anytime they portray an ethnic group on the show, they show them like the way they dressed in the 1800s or a cartoon version of how they thought they dressed in the 1800s. I doubt that like Roma were still living primarily in circus wagon caravans by that point, because they live in houses today. I don't know. Okay. I think the monkeys look so cute with that earring. And I think it's the only good part of this episode is that they got the monkeys in earring, and they should wear it more. I think like modern day, the monkeys would be very like boys with like a nose ring and an earring and painted nails. That's kind of what they give. Yeah, so they give them these good luck charms, which are boar tooth necklaces. And Mike has a real weird line read. He goes, "Whoa, it's a little bitty cavity." In exchange for his necklace, Peter gives the guy a really large salt shaker to throw over his shoulder for good luck, and then he throws the whole thing. It was a very large salt shaker.
Yes, you hear crash, but you also, when he said there's a cavity, Marco, I think was the son, says, "Yes, but this group has 27 fewer cavities." Ad for toothpaste.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't get that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's an ad for toothpaste.
Thank you. They're always in just perpetual evil laugh mode. That's the only noise that comes out of their mouth. Mama reminds Marco in full audible view of Davy about the plan to drug and beat up the monkeys. And they clearly called Davy to like pace around in the background overhearing in the shot, and he like didn't know what to do. He's just like wandering around back there like. And then Mama feeds Marco a sugar cube out of her hand, and there's a horse noise when he eats it because he is a large dumb animal.
Yep.
Ugh. Another large Italian man, pretending to be Roma, offers to read Mickey's tea leaves. And he says, "I don't believe in that stuff." What about last episode? Well, I guess by the end of last episode, it was proven false. Yeah. So,
well, he didn't believe in it. Mickey didn't believe in it.
That's right. No, Mickey's a man of science. Mickey's a man of man's.
Also, I feel like reading tea leaves is like one of the least prop-intensive fortune-telling things you could film. You just need a teacup.
Yeah, right. But the tea is drugged and he passes out.
Right.
Okay. Do we want to talk about the Khajiit now? Because I don't know what accent these people were doing. Because I don't know what Romani people's accent's supposed to sound like. But
okay, so in the video game series, The Elder Scrolls is like a fantasy universe that was conceived in the early 90s, which was also like coincided around the time that like Roma people were recognized as victims of the Holocaust, where they have a race. And you can pick your race in these games, and each race has different attributes. The cat race, known as the Khajiit, are good at thievery. So they're good at like sneaking, small weapons, archery, all that stuff. And if you play as them, you could play like a sneaky character. In the universe of the game, they're not allowed in cities. They travel in merchant camps. They sell drugs. And like their culture is all about stealing stuff from like the cities. And that is like very, like, this was conceived in the 90s, and that's a very direct allusion to like Roma and like Bohemian people.
Yeah.
And like, it's like interesting because Skyrim was the last game that came out with this stuff in it. No, the Elder Scrolls Online too. That came out in like, 2014? Like that came out in like 2014. We still have like stuff in media that like perpetuates these stereotypes, which I just think is like interesting. And like literally any fantasy, anything where it's like you have like traveling vagrant merchants is like a direct allusion to like the fact that in like the 1000s in Europe, there were ethnic groups that weren't allowed to settle where the white people settled.
Right.
Like
Lindsay Ellis talks a lot in her video essays about the Hunchback of Notre Dame, how like even up into that came out in the 90s, the way they like portray Esmeralda and all them is still like like it's somewhat sympathetic because like Esmeralda is like the main love interest, the main character almost. But then they have another scene where they like kidnap Quasimodo and Phoebus, and they're like, and we're gonna have a trial and hang you no matter what. And they're still like portrayed as like violent and bloodthirsty. And they kind of corrected that a little more in the like stage adaptation that was at Paper Mill Playhouse. But like elements of it are still there. Like they were always cast. I don't think they ever had a Roma actress play Esmeralda because like it's too hard to find, so let's not.
Also, they're never gonna make Esmeralda one of the main Disney girls.
No,
like, they're just not gonna make her a main Disney girl.
No, she's too sexualized for that. I wonder why. I brought up the Elder Scrolls because I believe in that game. Lindsay Ellis in one of her essays pointed out that they had an accent they were doing.
Oh yeah, they have like a ethnic accent for that race.
You know who else has an ethnic accent? The Travelers from VPD.
The Travelers from the Vampire Diaries.
The Travelers are a magical race in the Vampire Diaries who are totally not Roma.
But like this stuff is like, and that's like, these are like American intellectual properties. Like most of like the stuff I found about like anti-Roma discrimination was like resources from Europe because that's like where they are. But it's like American like media still perpetuates this stuff, which can be very directly linked to racism, which think is not surprising.
With them, it's probably like it's perpetuated so much because they're such a like fractured minority. Mm-hmm. I've seen like a couple TikToks from like one like Roma content creator who talks about like depictions of them in media, but like it's that one guy on the internet that I've seen talking about it, and then like my big fat G-word wedding, you know, like
wait, that's an American show, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god.
Then they have like a UK version because there's a related but like ethnically distinct group of nomadic people called the Irish Travelers who are like similar. I don't know, but like they don't really have like their own kind of like platform or organization or anything, you know?
Yeah.
They don't have much representation. Anyway. Another large Italian man challenges Davy to a Lady and the Tramp handkerchief knife fight. They pull their handkerchief in both their mouths, and then they have to knife fight. And then he lifts Davy up by his mouth.
Yeah, sure does.
He lifted up by his mouth.
Did that excite you? Like, did that titillate you?
I imagine that was Davy.
You imagine getting lifted by the mouth by a large man. And then he throws a bunch of knives at him, like the circus trick where you throw knives at people.
And the last one you clearly see come out of the back.
Yeah. That's not the only time that this exact thing happens to Davy on the monkeys. Okay. And in fact, the second time it happens in the circus episode, it is on the same like blue knife trick board.
Maybe they just used the same
footage. Only had one.
They only had one knife trick board.
Yeah. And Davy makes his special distress noise, which is like, and then Mama says, when you think of the G words, you think of a dancer. And Pete says, I think of Ethel Merman. Well, I think of Audra McDonald.
I was exactly what I wrote.
Someone tell me, when is it my turn? Don't I get a dream for myself?
I don't know anything about musical theater.
We saw
it was so
we
good.
saw that show.
We saw it like
Mother's Day. We saw it previously.
Yeah, but and Audra was like right behind us.
Yes, she came out.
Robbed of the Tony.
Somer has sent me that clip though, and I have watched it. It was very good.
If Mama was married, we'd live in a house as something about 2 monkeys and me. She says monkeys in that song.
Which monkeys? Which 2 monkeys?
Which 2 monkeys would I live in the house with? Well, okay, so it's got to be Mike. And I was going to say Peter, but Peter could not live with Mike. So the only monkey that can cohabitate with Mike is Mickey.
I was going to say Mickey. He's entertaining.
Yeah. And he can cook all those great foods from the other episode. So they tie up Peter with scarves while they show him their dance. Right. His big-ass ear is sticking out to show us his earring. I love Pete's big-ass ears. So then the brother named Zeppo shows Mike the phrenology chart. And he's like feeling his head for phrenology bumps, but he doesn't take his hat off.
No.
So he only feels like his bang. He doesn't even move his bang. He just feels on top of his bang. And he's like, you have no bumps. And then he smashes powder on his head to give him some bumps. You didn't phrenologize him right. I'm sorry.
Mike's vest looks like an organ grinder monkey's vest.
Oh,
He's got the vest with the little black marks on it. It's
like Angelas from Les Mis.
It's like an organ grinder monkey.
Back at the camp center, the monkeys are tied up, by which I mean they're loosely wearing some rope as necklaces. And they're like, Mama, we will not perform your heist. No, they say, Maria, we will not perform your heist. And Marco's like, how do you know my mama's name? And Mickey's like, it's on her tent. And then he's like, who told you could read her tent? Why is her name on her tent?
Who knows?
They have to address her as Mama for respect. Are these Romani stereotypes that I don't even know about, or are they just making shit up?
I don't know.
I feel like I'm not like educated enough on what Romani stereotypes are.
I think that's just
she's the head of some.
Yeah.
What we got to respect her.
Something matriarchy.
They're all her sons. Yeah. So she's Mama.
Yeah.
Once again, a strong woman. Woman with criminal goals.
Yeah, no, and she wants to take the monkeys in as her sons too. She keeps being like, "You are my sons now." So she just wants to.
She wants to have a whole. More
sons. Marco has a yo-yo.
Yes, which takes a really long to pay off the joke, and then I was like,
"Oh, that
was it." I'm like, he played with that yo-yo the entire time just for that.
Well, you see, there was also the overarching joke where, contrasted with his threatening ethnic and large physical appearance, he is playing with a little dinky toy.
I guess that maybe.
Mama then says, "I warn you, we are desperate people." Yeah, being oppressed for thousands of years will do that. And then she says, "The urge to steal is basic. We are all thieves at heart."
Yeah, I wrote those two down.
And then they're like, "Where'd she get that idea? She stole it." And then they're like, "Monkeys, we will give you 5 minutes to decide what you want to do before we will torture you." And then they all, the monkeys all imagine what would happen if the rack was used to torture them. And what would happen is that Davy would get
stretched.
He would get really tall and really tower over people. And then he says to the rest of the monkeys, "Why don't you stand up?" And they say, "But I am standing up." That's normally what they say to him because he's short.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's why that's funny.
Yeah. I don't want to explain all the running jokes in the monkeys for the people that actually listen to this show. So we're just leaving you out to dry a little. Sorry. So then Mama's like, well, boys, steal the vulture, you die. And like Marco is salivating to poke the monkeys with a hot poker.
Yes.
And then Mike says in his straight voice, "All right, you leave us no choice. We will steal the Maltese vultures." And then turns to the other monkeys and is like, "Was that okay?"
He also makes the decision for everybody.
Yeah, again.
One of the brothers carries Mickey out and is kissing him on the head.
Yeah.
Like a baby.
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to be in this monkey situation.
You want the large Italian men in brown face to cuddle
I'll be like,
you.
I'll steal anything.
Yeah. The premise of this episode being that like the Romanis are forcing the nice white boys who would never want to steal when they do crimes every episode.
Yeah.
Like, also, I know for a fact that you stole all that shit that's in your house. They have like a restaurant napkin holder on their table. They probably found Mr. Schneider in the gutter and like stole him. Like, yeah. So once they agree to steal, Mama's like, "You're now my sons." Because Roma have no loyalty to like people or family or morality. They only like stealing. Mm-hmm. And anyone who steals can be in the family. So then Mama goes over the floor plan of the mansion with them. She's like, "What's the plan, boys? Girl, don't leave it up to them. You're a terrible criminal." So then they draw all over the map.
Which they've done previously.
Yeah. None of their plans are good, by the way. Mike's like first one goes like straight through a wall. So I want you to take a look at their markers, Mom, in case you recognize their markers.
Those are old.
Were they like whiteboard? What markers?
No, those are markers. Those are magic markers.
Oh.
Those are what markers look like.
Uh-huh. And they all, like, you can't tell what color it is.
Well, that's blue.
Okay, I guess that's right.
That's blue and that's red. Yeah, no, and I could smell them. They're using those markers, and I smelt the markers. Like that.
Were they like really alcohol smelly?
Yeah, they were really like they had a really strong smell to them, and they're permanent markers. They were just
like fat Sharpies.
Yeah, but they're not Sharpies. They were markers. They were magic markers. I think
magic markers.
Yeah, which is why people my age still call markers magic markers. because that was the brand of those magic markers. Those
Interesting.
Are magic markers.
Good to know. And then I have this little picture here of the board that they made, and you can see Davey wrote the monkeys in the corner
upside down when he was writing it.
Somebody wrote some music notes up here. This big scribbled out section. I think someone drew a dick and they had to scribble it out.
It looks like guitar.
Yeah,
strings.
They were having fun. And I also wrote Peter chest hair. They're ready to send them to the party for the heist. And they're back in their monkey clothes. They're like, I guess we're going now. Bye. Wait, where's Peter? And Mom is like, we're keeping him as a hostage. We will kill him if you don't have the vulture by midnight. And Mike's only objection to this is, but we're a quartet. Because he hates Peter. So then they send Marco in as the fourth monkey. And he's also wearing the monkey's outfit, and it's great.
The pants were a little short, but I'm like, I don't think those could possibly have been any of their pants.
Yeah.
Marco's a much larger man. They had to actually find a pair of pants for him.
So at the party, like the host's dress is she kind of ate. It's like, it's bright pink. It has this like shoulder scarf attachment thing. And she slayed. So Marco is too enthusiastic to play rock and roll, and the monkeys have to calm him down. Mike, there's a shot of Mike turning to talk to Davey, and he ducks down to Davey's chest level, and then they have to like adjust their heights to be like on level with each other.
He ducks down to talk to him, but he tucks too low, like on purpose.
Yeah, they're like, Marco, why don't you go scope out the guard situation so we can call the cops behind his back?
Right.
The way the monkeys tried to understand and assimilate to Romani culture despite their misgivings and fears, and then it turned out that they were right to distrust them because every stereotype is cartoonishly true all along. So then the party host comes up to them while Marco's gone, and they all like talk over each other too fast and mumble, so they are not saved.
Right.
Then Mickey goes into the crowd. He picks up a champagne glass. He goes up to a random Yugoslavian man to try to get help. But you should never trust a foreigner because he does not help. Now, what would you like to tell us, Mom?
That is James Frawley.
That is indeed our first on-screen appearance of regular series director James Frawley and his weird little frog face that he has.
Yeah, he has an interesting face.
Yeah. He's got like a really short little puggy nose and his eyes are like sad and tired looking.
Well, they're very deep set.
Yeah.
And then the interesting part when you look now on IMDb, they always put the most recent picture of the person.
But Davies is like from the 80s or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but also when did Davey die?
Yeah, Davey died in like the 2016, I think.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so the picture for him is like old.
Okay, so it's an older picture, but they do tend to have. So sometimes you'll look up one of the like background actors, and they'll have a recent photo. And you're like, what is that?
Yeah.
And the recent photo of I don't know if James Frawley is still alive, but
I don't know if he is either.
It is this old round man with no hair, and I was like, I can see his eyes a little bit in there, but I don't see any of the rest of him.
Mom, have you ever seen a picture of old Mike?
Not sure. Okay.
I'm just going to show you what Mike looked like as he aged now because you would not believe it.
I know what Peter looked like.
You would not believe it. Hold on. Okay, so those are all pictures of him when he was young and hot.
Right.
Give me the old Mike.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, if you look at it for long enough, he's in there.
I can see him.
But, like, he went through a transformation.
Yeah.
He went through Twink Death, thy name is Robert Michael.
All right. Well, he got old.
Yeah.
But anyway, James Frawley.
Fraw Dog. He's going to show up more times, and now we know what he looks like.
Yeah,
so
I did note that they did say he's in a couple of them, so.
Yeah. I wonder if he was Yugoslavian of any type, or why they chose that split, because he does like say a line in the language.
Right.
So to get help, Mike and Davey throw a bottle with a note in it out the window. That'll do it, guys. Good job. And then a hand comes out the window to give them 2 cents deposit.
2 cent deposit. Yeah, deposit on a bottle. In New York, there's deposits on a bottle. You can return your bottles and cans for 5 cents each.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a recycling incentive.
Yes.
I see.
And then now it's like a recycling incentive. Then it was because they were, they were recycling.
Recycling
but they
didn't
were
exist in the 60s.
Oh. But they were like reusing bottles. That's what they would wash the bottles out and reuse them.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yes.
Damn. Marco comes back. He's like, there's 2 guards outside the bedroom. Go kill them. The monkeys are like, we'll distract them because they don't want to kill. Yeah. And then Marco starts performing by himself again. Go Marco, honestly.
I love Marco. Marco's my favorite part of this episode.
Yeah, he just wanted to help his mama out. Yeah. He just wanted to achieve his mama's goals. So then the monkeys duck around a corner like Scooby-Doo, or like the Beatles do, and like, they go around the corner in a stack.
Davy's on the top. Yeah. Davy, the shortest one, is on top.
And I bet he's like standing on Mickey's back or something.
And Mike's on the bottom.
So then to distract the guards, Mickey and Mike stage a beautiful robbery.
Can I? Do you have it written out?
I do have the whole thing written out.
Okay, I'll let you do it. Okay. I wrote it out.
Because I'll do it in the accent and you won't. So Mickey has like a masquerade mask on from Phantom of the Opera and a little tiny gun, and Mike is like holding his hands up like this, and he's like, help, help, help robbery. Who is this masked man anyway? Help, help, gun. Oh, terror, terror. Burglar, burglar, help, help, help. Wallet, mine. His now.
And then gun.
Gun. He just says gun. He's just like...
But it's like, help, help.
Help, help. He did not care. And the guards are like, we're not supposed to leave our post.
Well, one of the guards is sleeping the entire time. The one with the glasses on was asleep the entire time.
And the other one was also asleep the entire time, because Davy, in the like 3-inch wide hallway where all of this is going down, goes from in front of the guards to in front of Mike and Mickey, and at normal same volume as everything else just goes, hey fellas, this isn't working. Try something else. I don't know. They're all wearing the same shirt anyway. Yeah. Like, the guards should not... Like, there's cartoon logic, and there's a complete lack of logic.
Yeah.
Anyway, to escalate from armed robbery, the next distraction is a boxing fight.
Well, it's a fight. Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, the gun has been removed. I don't know why this would do it if the other didn't.
Well, and so they're going fight, but they're barely touching each other. And then every now and then they would punch each other in the face. It's like ongoing for episodes and episodes.
They just keep hitting each other. That's how they express affection to each other. They hit each other,
bumping each other in the face.
Yeah. But then Mike like punches the air in front of him, like, and deadpan goes, "You're through this time. The jig is up. You're washed up." And that was really good too. When Mike and Mickey get to play together, they have fun, and I appreciate it. So then they try to distract them with fire, which is just some matches that they blow out, and they can't get the matches out, and you can see like Mickey and Mike genuinely smiling at each other.
They were laughing,
because they can't get the matches out. So them dropping the matches onto the carpet finally is the thing that gets the guard to move, because they littered and they didn't keep the city clean.
Which is a sign.
Which is
a callback to
we talked about the city has to be kept clean. And the excellent peripheral vision of the guards allows Davy to sneak right by them. And they're like, "Can't you guys read the sign?" And Mickey says, "No, we're musicians." So then Davy's inside the room, holding a huge bag, direct address to camera. He goes, "Good thing I came prepared. All I need now is a light." And then he holds up a candle. "Wrong light." And he holds up a flashlight. First of all, who are you talking to? Second of all, was that joke worth the effort of a lit candle prop being held under the thing by the prop person being switched out for the flashlight? Because that joke was not even a joke. It did not even land. And it must have taken like 10 minutes to set up that shot. Davy takes the painting that's covering the safe off of the safe, and there's another painting under it of the safe. Like a drag wig reveal. That's what that gave. That gave when you reveal a wig into the same wig. So then Davy takes a number of increasingly large tools out of his bag, the last of which is a live rabbit, which he holds by the ears.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that's how you hold a dead rabbit that you've hunted.
That's how you hold rabbits.
Really?
Yeah.
A live rabbit.
Yeah.
They like that?
I don't know, but that's how you hold rabbits.
Well, I mean, that's how magicians hold rabbits in cartoons.
My grandma had a rabbit, so.
And she held it like that?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we've learned.
Well, then she sold it, and I think he went to a farm.
Yeah, so Lucas, I'm sure he did.
So
wink. Uh-huh. Lucas, you never ate that rabbit. You never ate that rabbit. So then Davy tries to use TNT to blow up the safe, but instead blows up a random lamp, because that's how TNT works in the Monkeyverse. The guard opens the door, looks inside, closes the door, and says it's okay to his fellow guard. What part of it is okay?
Well, he didn't see anything. I'm guessing he looked at the safe and the safe was fine. So
it has TNT clipped to it.
I know. Well, then it doesn't. And then it does again.
I feel like the joke is that the guards are like really incompetent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, then he tries to listen to it
with a stethoscope.
Yeah. Well,
why would you do that?
Oh, that's how you crack a safe. They listen to the clicks.
You can listen to the clicks of it.
But he's not playing with the dial. He's just listening.
No, he was playing with the dial too. And then he puts on some gloves.
Well, no, but he listens with the stethoscope, and it starts playing Clarksville.
Oh yeah. He got Clarksville.
He got Clarksville. Davey got Clarksville by the safe.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he puts on a pair of like O.J. Simpson gloves.
He puts on leather gloves that are way too big for his little Davy hands.
The glove does not fit. You must acquit.
Yeah.
And then he grows a second set of hands.
And then turns out they weren't his hands.
I don't know what that joke was. It was surreal. Somebody smoked before writing that joke. Then the host of the party comes into the room to show her friend the vulture. So Davy hides in the curtain without removing any of his heist tools.
Okay. Now, so we went from trying to blow up the safe, and then we saw the stethoscope and the things, the clips were no longer on the safe. And then they did the hand joke, and then she comes in, so he goes running to hide, and the clips are on the safe when he goes to run to hide. And then she comes in, and the clips aren't on the safe, and she walks right up to the safe and just opens it.
No, she doesn't even like spin the dial. She just opens it.
And there's no clips on it. So the clips are on, they're off, they're on, they're off.
Like, Davy, you could have, Mama and her boys are holding Peter at knife point outside of the party house, ready to kill him at the stroke of midnight if the monkeys do not drop the vulture into their hands in the next 5 minutes. Into this locked and guarded room that they just had to do a heist to get into. Mickey just busts in. He's doing his annoying impression that we couldn't place again. His hair is messed up, and his suit has a bunch of buttons on it, and he's calling Mike Cecil. This has to be a reference to something that we're not
I was looking it up. I was just looking it up, and I can't figure it out. But I was saying he was an art critic. He was like an art judge.
That's
who he was. And I'm trying to figure out who Cecil was. I don't know if he was doing some famous art critic guy. I don't know. What was the word we came up with before? Lucas, you said art appraiser?
Appraiser or something, yeah.
An art appraiser.
But he was doing that like a really silly voice, and then Mike was Cecil.
Yeah.
And wait, Mike was swelling the old woman's hair. Did you see that?
No, I did not. Oh my God.
Because he was like, oh, look at this, or so. And so he comes over, he goes, oh, look at this bird. Like Mickey, as the guy, goes, look at this bird. So Mike as Cecil comes up to the woman's friend and starts smelling her hair. And he goes, not that bird. And so he goes over to the other woman and starts smelling her hair. And I'm like, what do you do?
Well, because bird was like...
Well, bird is a...
it was slang for woman, and especially in England, and especially with the Beatles. So
no, I know, but like, why was he smelling her hair?
Because he's a freaky
creepy
one. Mickey gets the vulture away from them. He like pretends to art appraise it by the window and like tosses it out into Peter's hands at the stroke of midnight, saving him because they are holding swords over him, about to like stab him. And then the host looks out the window and is like, white boy in the middle of a crowd of Romanis dressed as a Romani. You specifically stole my vulture. Romanis, bring him in.
Yes.
Okay, sure.
She enlists them.
Yeah. And Mama is like, everyone can tell Peter is a thief. It's written all over his face. And so it is. And they wrote it on his face.
And it's spelled incorrectly.
Maybe he wrote it himself and he can't spell.
But they do point it out.
Yeah, they're like, and he's bad at spelling.
And Mike is like, Davy, tell the guard who we are. And then Davy starts the story with, well, once upon a time, there were 4 boys or something.
And so the guard is twisting his arm.
Yeah.
Because he's part of
the family.
The family. And he says, and is it Mickey says, or Mike says, Mickey probably, I don't like the way this guard's acting. And Davey goes, what are you, a talent scout or something?
The host is like, thank you so much for catching the thief, Mama. If you want anything, just take it. So she takes the vulture out of her hands and runs. And 20 minutes into a 25-minute episode, we get the first song, which is I'm a Believer. I have been needing desperately a song to break this episode up for like the past 10 minutes. But this is the 4th goddamn week in a row that they've played the goddamn Shrek song and used the fucking yellow shirt footage, and I'm tired of it, and we needed something else.
Well, but they had the fight for the vulture.
Yeah.
So they were battling each other.
There's chase shenanigans, monkeys unsuccessfully trying to beat up large men because they can't.
Because they can't, and then they start playing football.
Yeah. Yeah, I will note, interestingly, when the song says, and then I saw her face, it cuts to, like, close-ups of Mama.
Maria. Yeah. And it's, like, not even, like, a flattering shot. It's, like, her going, like... Right?
Like,
it's, like, not even...
That almost implies that, like, she's the romantic interest of the episode, because they also did that with the, like, Peter and his girlfriend episode, where they, like, cut to the girl when I saw her face. Now I'm a believer.
And they finally cut the string. Peter cuts the string.
Peter cuts Marco's yo-yo
string. And this is the big payoff for the yo-yo joke.
Yeah.
For this part, I wrote Maria slaying, because I thoroughly enjoyed Maria this whole episode.
Yeah. She's just pickpocketing the crowd this whole time.
Yeah.
No, literally.
She spends
she can't stop stealing for even 4 seconds. They're cutting in literally the exact same footage of them singing "I'm a Believer" from last week. Like these had to be edited out of broadcast order because it's like the same stuff. What did you say? It was like the Sailor Moon.
Yeah, I said much like the Sailor Moon transformation sequence, like in Sailor Moon, where they didn't want to save on animation budget, they would play like a 2-minute long and like transformation sequence that they would reuse every episode, sometimes multiple times.
Yeah,
to save on animation.
They do also do that here. They play the same like generic like clips of them like week to week.
Yeah.
All throughout the show. They pick up Davy and use him as a battering ram at one point, and then they put on football helmets, and they have this confusing ass visual joke that I didn't understand where they have the football helmets on and Peter mimes feeding them with a ladle from a bucket.
Well, that was giving them water, like instead of squeezing a water bottle in their mouth.
They used to ladle football
Well, there was no Gatorade bottles.
So they used a ladle?
They would drink water out of a ladle.
Okay.
I didn't know
I've
that.
never heard of that before. That's so bizarre. I was like, is he making them strong with soup? Why?
No, that was just water.
Okay. Odd things that they used to do to football players. Mama is like, yes, boys, you have showed us. We don't want to steal anymore because it's easier and cheaper to make it in show business. Because
wait, yeah, that's the ending.
Yeah.
But they how they finally defeat them, is they have a suit of armor, and they chase them with the suit of armor, and then the boys are done in.
Wow. Yeah.
I also wrote forehead kisses from Marco because at some point he just starts giving a bunch of forehead kisses.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I will tell you why he does that.
Okay. Mama is like, yes, boys, you have showed us. We don't want to steal anymore because it's easier and cheaper to make it in show business, especially if you have no talent like you kids. Wah, wah. And then she's like, goodbye, and I love you all.
Yeah. So she comes by and gives them a hug, and then Marco kisses them all on the head, and they leave. And then they realize that they've lost their watches and their wallets, and that's what they were doing when they were kissing and hugging them.
Oh.
They were stealing their stuff.
Yeah, not only have they lost their watches, their wallets, they've also lost their Peter. Peter has been stolen. Because he, much like their watches and wallets, is inanimate. So, with deep apologies to the Roma people, monkey out. We hope you enjoyed that episode of The Monkeys Pod. You can follow us on Instagram and the website formerly known as Twitter, @MonkeysPod. I don't really know what to do with the outro for this one. Maybe I'll sing more of that great musical. Okay, some people can get a thrill knitting sweaters and sitting still. That's living for some people, for some humdrum people to be. Guys, when I'm like 45 and I can play all the old diva Broadway roles, that's when I'm going to be at my peak of existence. So let's all sit around and let's all wait for 20 years till I can actually get cast in roles that I'm right for. Okay, bye.